the most up-to-date technology. They are importing
share the link. Yes.
Experts from Europe who are going to part of their model. 3 quick ways. Please make sure you are talking to somebody. 3 ways. It doesn't matter whether you are selling real estate. Doesn't matter. How? 3 ways. You are going to upgrade. We need to exercise. Exercise now. Exercise. If your hand was not up during that last question, please stand up. Please feel free, stand up. God bless you. God bless you. God bless you. Clap for them. So I assume that you are either a student or a house husband or a housewife. Or a housewife. Because we're all selling. Yes, Daddy. Is it going now? Sorry, sir. Or they are selling. Absolutely, sir. I'm just being careful. You know, some people may be offended if you say that they are selling the service to their spouse. They are offering the service quite all right, but they may not see them as selling. They may feel like they are giving the service free of charge, although we know it's not free of charge. If compliments don't flow, if the compliments don't flow, if there's no extra anything, no cake, no roses, no anything, the service may be withdrawn. Praise the Lord. God bless you. Please, you may be seated. You may be seated. But I don't know whether you get the point I'm making. All of us are selling goods or services. You are either selling goods or you're selling. Even if you are in paid employment, you are selling your service to employer. So I'm going to ask you another question. I was with my regulator yesterday and he called me the queen of financial literacy. I like to see myself as the queen of literacy. So that's why I'm doing this. I'm going somewhere. So that's not all of us who put our hands up. If your service or your product is on LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, or any other media, let me see your hand up. God bless you. Sit down. If your service or product is not on those media, please stand up for recognition. Stand up for recognition. Okay, I think they are shy now. Please, if you are not there, before you leave this place, or by the time you leave it, before the sun goes down today, before you go to bed today, please open a page on 1, 2, 3, as many of those platforms as possible. Now, let me explain. If you are in paid employment, you are not exempted. Because as a person in paid employment, your LinkedIn page is where you advertise your services. It's where you put your profile out. It's where you let people know the degrees that you have, the qualifications you have, the skills you have, the capabilities you have, and where you build your network. And there's some people that are never out of job because that profile is so good and so impressive that before they get tired of one place of employment, another person will have reached out. I know some people that they permanently have offers. So if your boss, decides to be too difficult, you just call one of the people that offered you recently, and you begin to make a move. So are we still together? Are we getting something from this? So let me quickly go into my slides. But like I said, I will not be dogmatic in using the slides. I think I'm still pushing the wrong one. This is technology now. So I better not fall my own hand. Okay, I need to go back. Okay. So, and just to go to the points that our keynote speaker has made, the 2026 budget is indeed a budget of consolidation. And like he said, not just consolidation, but also shared wealth, shared prosperity. And if you look at it, just look at a few numbers that shows you the size of the prosperity they're looking at and how they're going to share it. So total expenditure 58 trillion naira. Trillion. Total revenue, 34.33 trillion. That's what they expect to make as income. Deficit, 23.85. Again, Prof has told us that government can spend deliberately because they want to stimulate growth. So they spend more than they have. You know, that's the one place where it's allowed to spend more than you have. But debt servicing, 15.52 trillion is going to be used to service debts, and capital expenditure, 26 trillion. Crude oil benchmark. Let me skip and go to the next slide. Okay. So this something is interesting here. This one has not moved. These ones have moved. So I have to turn to the. Just ignore the one that has not moved. Even the one that has moved has moved further than I wanted them to move. Okay. So we've seen this, and these are the major allocations that has been made. And by the grace of God, Prof has spoken to them. But what I want you to do now is this. And I think the only one that is missing, because it also encapsulates most of this, is the CAPEX portion. So you are going to look at defense and security, and you are going to look at infrastructure, and you are going to look at education, and you are going to look at health. And you are going to say to your neighbor, which of these does your business relate to? What is there anything you are doing that relates to? Ask your neighbor, is there anything you are doing that relates to any of these? Because these are the major places that the government wants to spend money on. I have good news for you. Everything I do, my business touches everything. It cuts across. We were taking a meeting, and you know, this is common. I'm an investment banker, and we also offer financial services, including the tech space. And one of the questions that people ask us commonly is, which sectors do you major on? I'm always happy to tell them we are sector agnostic. We're sector agnostic. We will do any sector where we can impact life and make money. Any sector where we can impact life and make money. But what I'm trying to say is, and I'll come to it. I know I've left out the agri space, and I know that, thank God, we have somebody that's going to talk about it. But what I want to emphasize on is that government is shifting from stimulus. Before they were looking at stimulus, they're now shifting to fiscal discipline, but also to a strong focus on security, infrastructure, the digital economy, and productivity. And they're targeting 4.68% GDP growth and $1 trillion economy. What are the implications of this for small businesses? That's where we're going, like yourselves. Going back. All right. All right. So what are the implications for our small businesses and fintechs? Now, in case you didn't know, the small businesses, SMEs, contribute close to 50% of this GDP growth that we're talking about. That's 48%. So about half of the wealth that Nigeria is going to build in 2026 is coming from small and medium-scale businesses, as well as micro businesses. So I'm going to ask you which percentage, ask your neighbor again, which percentage of that growth is going to come from you? Are you sure you are contributing to it? Make sure you are contributing to it. And 8 out of 10 Nigerians are employed by a small business. And I'll share my testimony. 8.5 years ago, I was an employee in a business. And I had a leading to go and start a business. It's one of the toughest things you can do when you are comfortably employed. And to be honest with you, I was so comfortably employed that I was in the UK. This thing is not showing me my number of minutes again. But I'm deliberately sharing these stories because I want to make it practical. So, if somebody knows, just let me know. Hopefully it will show again. I think it's my slides that are not letting it show. Probably like 10 minutes now. I was so comfortably employed. I was in the UK and I was trying to open an account. And the account officer, white boy, says, oh, let me help you. So he says, what is your income? And I put the figure there. And he says, no, I'm asking for your monthly income. And I say, yes, that's my monthly income. This is in the UK. This is a big Oyinbo bank. This is a white boy. And he cannot believe. So he looked at me and said, where is that job? Where are you working? I said, Nigeria, Africa. He said, can I come with you? This is a UK bank. You understand what I said? Can I come with you? And the Lord said to me, drop that job, drop that pay. Go and start a business. So it was crazy. Even my children wondered whether I was normal. And I remember my children calling me into the kitchen and standing around me. And as with children, they were thinking, I don't think they were thinking about me, they were thinking about their own lifestyles. And what was the implication of this for their lifestyles? So they looked at me and said, Mommy, are you sure you heard God? Are you sure this is really God? I said, yes, that I really heard God. So what I'm saying is that, and my brother, my fellow speaker and I were saying something. There was a time Nigeria's economy was growing at an average of 10%. Steadily, at an average of, 10%, and this went on for 10 years. Somewhere between 8 and 10%. That was our GDP growth rate, and it was phenomenal. And the whole world was celebrating Nigeria. But you see, if you start a business or you invest somewhere in the middle of those 10 years, your business is largely cruising. It was a boom period, quite all right, but your business is just largely cruising. Now, we are at the bottom of a slope that is on its way up. If you set up a business or you start business in a good and a solid space, or you invest or amplify or expand your business, there is an opportunity for exponential growth. I don't know whether you understand me. The best times to start a business or to do something new or do something good is when an economy has been in decline sustainably, and then a lot of reforms have been done, and everybody can see, the whole world and his brother with the statistics, that this economy is about to start growing. Then so some of you, as a result of today's messages, you will receive a nudge that it is time to move. If you confirm that this is coming from God, step out boldly. Because I don't want you to come back 1, 2, 3 years down and say, this person, and we were together, now look at him. I can't even, when I call him, he can't even answer because he has become a billionaire. I want you to be that billionaire. Okay? So, and there is a limit to the wealth you can build in paid employment, and that is the truth. There is wealth that only comes from entrepreneurial initiatives. Are we all aware of that? So, now, I said when I started the business, 5 minutes, 21 seconds. I said when I started the business, I had 1.5. I'm always teasing, I had 1.5 staff. Don't ask me how I arrived at the half. But today, we employ 120 people. That's the reality. Today, our wage bill in the business is over 1.5 billion naira per annum. That's what we pay out as salaries in a year. But if I had not obeyed the Holy Ghost, I would still be waiting every month for my employer to pay me. And by the way, it's interesting because my former employer, to the glory of God, is still a wonderful, friend, supporter, mentor. We were chatting just a minute ago, and and I still got some very favorable feedback. What am I saying? In fact, the words were glowing. Some of you, the reason why you are not stepping out is because you think that somebody will be angry with you and they will never be your friend. They will not be angry with you if you succeed. They will only be angry if you shame them, or if you go and start and dupe people and do bad business. And you won't do bad business, children of God, correct? So, let me move on and maximize my remaining 4 minutes. So, look at the opportunity landscape. Infrastructure, formalization drive. Yes, the government wants to formalize businesses. So they are interested in your small businesses becoming structured. and they have a target of 1 million small businesses that they want to, SMEGA wants to help to register. And when government has put you on a plan, it means with the credit guarantee and all these other schemes, government wants to pride itself on what it has done through you. So if ever there was a time to go and register that your idea is now. Then there is a local content priority, Nigeria First Procurement. It has been spoken about. Government is going to increasingly mandate people to procure when it comes to government from Nigerian-made providers. So this is a time. Let me give you an example. I have a brother that does furniture. And it was a hobby. He did not learn it. He studied economics in university. He was working in a bank. And you know, at some point, he just had this entrepreneurial drive. He started, he made fruit juice, quit zipping, tried all kinds of things. And one day, he just realized that this flair that I have for doing furniture in my home, let me try it. Today, he's working. I mean, I want to protect his privacy, but let me just tell you that he has blown. So if you have a gift in making furniture, you have whatever it is that is a gift that God has given you. Look at what has happened in fashion. Look at what has happened in content creation. By the way, even if what you know how to, so increase access to credit, 12 billion funding mandate. So what are the strategic approaches? Embrace formalization as a growth tool. So government wants you to formalize your business. Embrace it as a growth tool. Leverage the Nigeria First product policy. Make sure you are producing something. Because very soon government will be procuring only from Nigerian businesses. Digital transformation of operations. We've talked about it. If you are not digital, you not start a business. Focus on value chain integration. And then adoption of lean financial management. You don't need a huge crowd. You just need to manage your finances better. Now, the fintech sector, they need to adapt to open banking enforcement, stronger KYC, shift from move fast to compliance growth. There's something I have in my notes that I want to share in my last 1 or 2 minutes. It's relevant to something that Professor Adedipe has said, but I just want to put it in my own words. You need to make up your mind. There are 220 million Nigerians. I think the commissioner said Lagos State is over 30 million people. So, what are you going to be doing for those people? Because people represent opportunities. So, it's either you are feeding them. I told you about my abattoir clients. It's either you are feeding them. It's either you are moving them. It's either you are housing them. It's either you are building for them. It's either you are helping them to manufacture. It's either you are financing them, like Candor Crest and Imagine Africa Capital Group. It's either you are financing them, you are providing money for them, or you are energizing them. Now, I'm going to close with something that I also discovered. We visited a friend in Abuja, and he opened my eyes to something. The Imagine Africa Group, we are a financial institution, and we are, by the grace of God, sponsors of this event. And a lot of my colleagues are here. Lovely to see you all. Well done. They will talk to you about how to build wealth, and meet around with you. Now, one of the things we pride ourselves on is environmental, social, and governance. And that means we are actually the first West African financial services company to be certified for sustainability. Now, what does that mean? We have solar panels in our office. When we installed the solar panel, so our offices are solar enabled, our waste is recycled. When we installed the solar panel, we discovered that the amount we were spending on diesel in 10 months contracted. The amount we were spending in 1 month, we could suddenly spend it in 10 months. That's the kind of savings we made. Now, I was taking a meeting, and my friend Ohoho was there. I was taking a meeting with a company that their job right now is converting vehicles from petroleum to CNG. And they said to us that the cost of converting the vehicle, and if you want their contacts, they're my clients, and we're happy to give you the contact. Cost of converting a vehicle is about 800,000 for a regular vehicle. SUV maybe like 1 million. But they guarantee you that what you will save in what you are spending fuel consumption is nothing less than 70%. So immediately I said to them, we will ask our corporate services to be in touch with you. Why can't we convert all the companies across the group? So the point I'm making is that this global shift towards ESG, stop looking at it as an expense. Look at it as an opportunity. They are making money by converting vehicles. You will save money by having your vehicle converted. You can even help them to find customers and get a commission. So everything that is happening globally is an opportunity for you to look again at how you are doing business and look again at the savings that are available. One of the things we like to do is to finance businesses that want to be ESG compliant. So if you are trying to, let's say for example, convert all your vehicles, you are trying to acquire solar, we're very happy to help you because we know that what you are going to save by that initiative is going to help you to pay back the funding that we give you. I'm going to... So, key growth drivers, infrastructure and digital transformation, increased access to credit, digital payment integration, focus on cybersecurity and data privacy, and green and sustainable finance. I just talked about it. I'm rounding up before somebody comes to tell me to leave. So, practical action plans for you as a small business: formalize your operation immediately, digitize your accounting and payments and operations immediately, align your products to the government demand we just talked about, join structured value chains. Please join associations, join trade groups, because that's how you know what is happening in your industry and you can move. For fintechs here, invest in compliance and red tech, deploy AI beyond experimentation. In my company, we have an AI plan, AI implementation plan, that by year 3, we would have reached the level of superiority, and we have not just assumed everybody is staying where they were, and we're implementing it. We've done year 1 of the plan. You must have your AI implementation plan. Okay? Partner with banks and government platforms, focus on sustainable, profitable growth. I don't need to talk about what the policymakers should do. They know and they are here, and they've told us what they're doing. I think I can go to my conclusion now. I know my time is up. No, you have to give me time because of the slides that are not moving. So I have to get extra 1 minute because of that. I just wanted to open my... Sorry? It's not moving. It might be me, you know. I'm usually either pointing it in the wrong direction. You want to help me? Yeah, I was pointing. I've been pointing. Don't worry, I'm done. I'm just going to speak to... I just want to make sure there is nothing in my concluding paragraph that I have not spoken to. For the benefit of the next speaker, don't worry, it's not the pointer, it's probably me. So, as I close, I want to say that the 2026 fiscal budget signals a decisive shift from economic survival to consolidation and sustainable growth. And for small businesses and households and families, the opportunity lies not merely in the size of government spending, but in your own strategic alignment of your business models with policy direction. Enterprises that embrace formalization, digital transformation, compliance, and collaboration will be best positioned to access finance, penetrate new markets, and scale responsibly. As government deepens investment in infrastructure, digital payments, and financial inclusion, 2026 becomes a defining year for structured, technology-driven, and resilient business growth in Nigeria. 2026 is not the year for informal growth anymore. It is the year for structured, strategic, and technology-driven expansion. And I want to say in closing that it's been a pleasure to share with you. My colleagues are here because at the end of the day, all these things will cost money, but funding can be accessed affordably and sustainably. And if your own case is that you have funds but you don't know where to invest it, again, my colleagues from Treasures Microfinance Bank, Imagine Africa Asset Management Limited are here, and they are willing to help you. Stand up for recognition. And they're willing to help you and support you to put your money. By the way, these opportunities mean that there's money to be made. Our capital market made 51% last year. One of our funds that invest in the market. Professor Adenikpe is actually the chairman of that fund investment committee. So you have brilliant people. That fund made 47% in 2025 return. So if you started with 100 naira, at the end of the year, you will end with 147 naira in 1 year. So multiply that. So these colleagues will help you to find those opportunities. What am I trying to say? All these things the government is saying, money is going to be made. Make sure you are one of those making that money. Thank you. God bless you.
Thank you very much.
Video program.
So, this, you can justify that she's been able to piece it out for us in practical terms on what we need to do. And some of the things that I like about what she said is the practicality of what we need to do, because for every successful person that you come across, there's a story behind it. And something that I also often say is that if you look at the account of people that faith has been counted for, it is after they have taken that action. It is after they have taken that action. So